Good morning, guys. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys are enjoying your weekend so far. What you guys do yesterday? Hope you guys had a good time. So, I just want to go ahead and talk to you guys a little bit about attitude and how it could be our best friend, but it could also sabotage everything we do. Right? Sabotage everything we do. There's a song by the Misfits. We used to sing wild back in the days, my younger days, and I love Misfits. I mean, I've been listening to them in a long time, but they're a fundamental part of my growing up, right? And that song, look it up. It's such a beautiful song. It's called Attitude, and one of the lines or one of the things I can remember for sure is like, "Attitude, you got a motherfucking attitude," and I don't know how that crossed my mind, so I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna talk about attitude this morning, and hopefully start your day on the right foot, and your week. You know, it's Sunday, so I should take a break from preaching to you guys, but I think that it's Sunday. You gotta make a little time to kind of reset and reconfigure and redirect everything back to success mode for the rest of the week. So attitude can be our best friend, and it could also be very detrimental. And the beautiful thing about this is that we all fall victim to this. There is no one perfect person. We will never reach perfection. So don't go too hard on yourself when you are failing at reaching your goal on your personal growth. As long as you are consistently working on yourself and your personal growth, you should be very happy and very proud of yourself, because there's a lot of distractions. There's so many things to do in the world that the last thing in people's mind could be their growth, the discomfort, right? I hope that's a word. The discomfort of having to work on yourself, and gosh, what I gotta do now, and realize I'm doing this wrong, so I gotta do this instead, and it's uncomfortable, right? It's not easy. We talked about the growing pains, right? The pains of growing in a physical state as a child who's growing, and he's got those muscle and body aches, bone aches from growing, and us as human beings consistently having to get that pain of growing. So growing is not easy, and focusing on growth is not easy. But let me tell you something. You got two options. One, either you focus on your growth intentionally and you're consciously working on yourself, or you're gonna learn the hard way, right? Life's gonna teach you a lesson. So I don't think we want that. So anyways, attitude is super important for your growth, because you gotta remember consistently, tell yourself that no matter what happens in life, you want to have a good attitude about everything. That's going to be super important, okay? So just remember that consistently, so you can check yourself and bring yourself back to a good state of mind, peaceful, cool, collective, good attitude about it. And some things really can piss us off. Some things really come from left field, and you have no clue what the hell's happening, and you know what I mean? You weren't expecting this. But I talked about being flexible. I talked about being patient, right? I talked about being humble. So it's super important that we remember that attitude could be the big difference between you being successful at your job, in your career, being successful as a person in your relationship, and also throwing everything to shit. So it is super important that you remember that, you know what, if you're working on your attitude, that has to be a priority on your list of growth goals, because your attitude it's what can get you places. Positive attitude is going to get you to socialize good with people who are up there, and they can open doors for you because they know you, they love you for who you are, with always having a positive attitude, because they understand that that's going to be one of the most important aspects of success. If you want to reach long-term success as a leader, you're going to have to really have your attitude on check and teach your team about attitude, because that's really what can open and close doors. One of the things that we see a lot of is the fact that people have an option who to buy from, and they buy from the person with the best attitude, right? They buy from the person who's the nicest and has the best customer service, right? Not always the best deal. We don't always go with the best deal. We don't always go with what's closest to us and what's easier to get, but we are willing to go out of our way to buy and do business with people who have a good attitude, meaning a good customer service. So that's a quick message I wanted to share with you guys, because I think attitude is so important. Attitude could be everything in life. It's our decision of how we're gonna handle things. It's our decision of how we're gonna look at things. We get feelings and we get little thoughts coming in. So then that's when we take over and we're like, no, I don't like these feelings and I gotta change these thoughts because they're not good for me. So I'm gonna just have this attitude about the situation, and that's how I'm gonna overcome. An attitude of relentlessness, an attitude of patience, an attitude of respect, an attitude of love, unconditional love, an attitude of working hard, to obtain what you gotta get, and being consistent and being proud of that. It's all about your mindset. It's all about that filter that we apply to things. It's all about that attitude, right? So attitude, you got a motherfucking attitude. Peace.